All right. Back after a few months. Welcome to Jonesy Cast. I'm Jonesy, and this is the cast. Um, so essentially, what I do is I just read Reddit relationship subreddits and then just reply to them with what I know. Um, this one is from user Patrick M336 36 minutes ago from r/relationships. Hi guys, long-term lurker, first-time poster. I think I already know the right answer to this, but wondering if anyone has any advice or has gone through this before. So essentially what I'm going to do is sort of go through it step by step and just reply to it. But if you want the full context of the post, I'll put the link in the description. Starting new relationship, now missing ex. I, 33 male, was in a relationship for about 5 years before it broke down 3 years ago. She now lives in another city. We've kept in close contact and used to talk about whether we would get back together. I started dating a few people in the last half year and recently have met someone who I see a lot of potential with and are dating. All right, so let's go through this. I think I already know the right answer to this, but wondering if anyone has any advice or gone through this before. I mean, it's good that you sort of have an idea of the answer that you think is correct. So you're in a relationship for 5 years. That's not nothing. That's a good size relationship, right? Now you've been broken up for 3 years. Is that the case? You started dating people in the last half year. So that's a long time to be connected to the same woman. And I completely understand it. Because even though you haven't had a relationship with her for a while, what happens is she has imprinted on you. So anytime you reference the relationship folder in your brain, images of her and memories of her and contexts with her and reactions from her and your reactions to her, it's already imprinted on you, which is why when you say, I'm excited, but the last 2 weeks I've started to miss my ex like crazy. The reason that's happening is because what happens is the last time you opened that folder, she put photos in it and she put memories in it and she put emotions in it and she put herself in it, right? And now you're opening it again, and it's because you kept her in there. You kept her in there, and it's no wonder you did, because you probably fell head over heels in love with her, right? And then it's just sad that it breaks down. And the other reason that you're missing her, hold on, I'll get to that in a sec. So you have to understand that you, in starting a new relationship with this new woman, I assume it's a woman, you are bringing her into a closet that's full of old photos and full of old stuff, right? So my advice, at least in that context, would be you need to make sure that you're not introducing this new woman into the ghost of the old one, because that's what you've got at the moment. That's what you're communicating to me, and it's completely natural that this is happening. I've seen this dozens of times, but just with friends and even in myself, like it took me years to get over one of my exes, but I finally did, and that's when I was ready to get a new girlfriend. And then it happened again, so I mean, you still have the ghost of a lover past in your soul, in your closet, in your spirit. Now, it says here, I cared deeply about it, but recently it's been more platonic, and I was hoping she would start a new relationship with a wonderful guy. I know why you think that, because you value her as a person. It's not necessarily that it's platonic or non-platonic. It's that you see the value in her, which means you want the best for her. But the truth is, my friend, that she has to action that. She has to make that happen. And I know you know that. And I know you know that, right? But you have to put that knowledge into action, so then it becomes wisdom. Sorry about the light here. The sun's at the west and I've got a west-facing window. I started dating a few people in the last half a year and recently have met someone who I see a lot of potential with and are dating. Okay, so here's the problem. You currently have someone else's skeleton in your closet. and now you're inviting this young lady in. Now that can be conquered, 100% it can be conquered, but if you're still dealing with the demons of your ex and the breakage of the relationship, like, I suppose the question is this: do you desire to get back with your ex? Because if you do, you probably need to drive down that road and let it fail or let it succeed, whatever it is. You can't go into another relationship with someone else on your soul. That's not fair to you. It's not fair to her, not fair to your ex. It's especially not fair to the new girl, but, you know. Okay. I think about her almost all the time, and I'm feeling upset now, as upset now as when we broke up. Listen, man, that's completely natural. And the reason it's happening again is because this is the first time you've pulled up that coffin. What happens is we bring someone into our lives and there's life there. And then when we break up, there's death there, right? And then we put nails into the coffin, and then we walk away. It's, you know, it's still there, all locked up. But the thing is, you locked it up and you didn't want to face it, which, again, no judgment. I completely understand why, because I've done the same thing. But now that you're opening up that love box again, that romance box again, that emotion folder again in terms of love and romance, she's still there and you haven't dealt with it. I mean, that's just what I'm seeing. Again, this is not a diss on you. This is not me criticizing you for that, but I'm just kind of, this is what I'm seeing. Against my better judgment, I spoke to her recently and she has also started dating someone but doesn't think it will work out. That was a bad idea, bro. Yeah, you know it, I know it. But it was a bad idea. But again, I don't fault you for it. Like, there's a reason we do everything. Maybe you need to exorcise her from you. And the way you do that is by talking to her. Like, sometimes what happens is we meet someone and we love them, and then we break up with them, and then we remember the good parts or the bad parts. But what happens is, because they are not a constant living entity in our lives, it becomes an ideal. It becomes a caricature of what it was. So maybe to find out that the relationship really is dead, you need to spend more time with her, right? But you can't do that dishonestly towards your current girlfriend, but I suppose, or this girl you're dating, but I think you know that already, right? It's either it's going to fail or it's going to work with the ex. Now, you are a better judge of that than me, but I think either way, you need to be honest with yourself, with her, with this new girl. You know, maybe just pull back on being too honest with the new girl, because she doesn't need to know that there's skeletons in that closet unless she can handle it. But that's a decision for you to make. But I think you do need to be honest in terms of how you feel and what you feel with yourself. Maybe you need to talk to a counselor or like your best mates or your mum or your dad, if they have wisdom and they have your best interests at heart. You just need to be careful. But I mean, if I was in your position, like genuinely, if I was in your position, I would pull back on this new girl, because you're being unfair to her with going in there with baggage that you haven't explained. And I would talk to the ex a lot more to find out if it's a yes or no on both your sides. And then I would get the answer to that question, because you have an open question regarding your ex, right? But that question needs to be answered. Now, it can be answered, and then you go with this new girl, because then you'll have peace. Right now, you don't have peace. What you're looking for is peace. You're looking for closure, because it seems like you didn't fully get that. And that's totally understandable. But, I mean, that's what I would do. I would pull back on this young lady for all that it could be, for how amazing it could be, and she's an amazing girl. You're not being fair to her right now, because you are inviting her into a bed in which there's a skeleton still lying. I think this is partly me feeling scared about properly starting a relationship for the first time in 8 years and wanting to return to an area of comfort. It is very good, and I am impressed that you are willing to admit that you are making a judgment error, possibly. I think it's a bit of grief, because a new relationship will mean the end of my connection with someone I've known for a long time. 100%, man. That's definitely a part of it. It's not the only reason, but it's definitely a part of it. I think as well, I still care about my ex and would feel a lot more comfortable moving on if I knew she was happy in a stable relationship. Okay. You cannot allow her condition to hold you back. And I know that you know that, and I know that you still don't feel that. There's a difference between knowledge and feelings, right? But the truth is, she has to do her by herself. She has to be her own woman, standing on her own 2 feet, going into a relationship forward, right? And she can't, look, either you two are connected or you're not at the end of the day. And I mean, this will take time. It will take effort. It will take emotional effort on both your parts. But I mean, I feel a lot more comfortable moving on if I knew she was in a happy, stable relationship. I know what you mean. But the problem is you can't be the actioner of that. You can still, talk to her if you want, although you've already identified that's a dicey proposition. I mean, has anyone been through this before? I suppose I've been through this before, but I let the woman go the way the woman wanted to go. I let my ex go the way she wanted to go. And she got with someone and then broke up with him. Then she got with someone and then she broke up with him. And then she got with someone and then broke up with him. And then she met the man that she went on to marry. I just let it go because I knew that I couldn't do anything. I knew that she needed to be her own woman. And I knew that I would only do her damage if I tried to help her, because then she would come to rely on me. The problem is that some people can't help some people. And it's not because they're incompetent. It's because there's too much baggage. There's too much emotion. There's too much. You have too much of a stake in this young lady, your ex, to give her fair judgment. Even when you tell her what she's like, you will say what she's like or give her advice or give her your opinion based on your subjective experience. And it's too close. You're too close to her to be able to give fair, balanced, and unbiased judgment. If this was me, and again, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just showing you the kind of scenario and the picture that you're painting for me. If this was me, I would pull back on the first girl, the new girl that you're having a couple of dates with. You don't necessarily have to tell her that. You have to be honest with her. Always be honest. Always be honest. And if she asks you questions, you have to be honest. You can not answer them and tell her that you just don't know at the moment, if that's true, but don't lie to her. And look, if this new girl, you broke up with her, well, you broke up with her, I mean, going into the relationship with her and not telling her the truth to make her feel comfortable with the fact that you're not still into your ex is kind of unfair to her, because you're sort of not telling her the truth. And that is a foundation for failure, 100%. So that's what I would do. Man, I wish you luck. I really do, because I know that these things are not easy. So good luck, man. I hope this helps.